Hi, I'm Savannah Libby.
And I'm Anna Schmeichel. Welcome to another edition to Sports Spot. Today we will be talking to senior swimmer Braden Osborn, who is committed to West Virginia University. His 50 free was the 7th fastest out of all Division I and Division II state meet times. What advice would you give to current freshmen who are trying to go through the Mason High School program that want to end up getting recruited?
So I know when I was a freshman, I looked up to the senior leadership, and I tried to just fit in. So what I would do is I would just try to make yourself a part of the team, because I know coming in from a freshman, especially for swimming, if you swam in 8th grade, it's a completely different experience, and it's more like people take it more serious than middle school, I would say, and just kind of not being afraid to talk to people is something that I find that would help tremendously, and just kind of make friends with the upperclassmen, because they can obviously push you to be better. I know that I personally took, when I was a junior, I took this freshman named Max Plumley under my wing, so to speak, and I kind of just adopted him, I guess, as I call him, my son, and I just included him with all the activities, because in high school there's a difference between being a club swimmer and just a high school swimmer, and just kind of trying to blend the two to make it not have cliques, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, because I know that especially for the girls' side, the club swimmer and high school swimmers, there's the two obvious groups, and I know for the guys' side we tried to not make that happen, but it's just kind of the way things happen. So just, I guess, trying to find someone that you can connect with, and I guess a training buddy would be good, because when I was a freshman, I looked up to this, I think he was a junior at the time, named Scott Shepard, and I kind of just trained with him and kind of paced off of him and just hung out with him, and it ended up being it went really well, so.
So I know you mentioned attitude as one of the lessons you've learned. Are there any others that you have gained throughout your experience?
Yeah, so something that was kind of a rude awakening for me this year was nutrition and diet, because I'm a very picky eater, and I know there's a lot of other people that are like that, and if you're going to do something like swimming where you burn thousands of calories a day, it's very important to keep your body, fueled and stuff, and I've gotten a lot better at eating more and more, because if you don't eat, then you're tired all the time, and if you're tired all the time, you can't get better. And basically what my coach said, which really stuck with me, was if you don't eat, then you're basically doing all this work just to throw it away. It only sticks with you for 2 hours, and you're feeling good, and then the next day, if you don't eat a good dinner, because we have late practice, if you don't eat a good dinner, good lunch, or good breakfast, you're basically throwing away all your hard work, and you can't really retain the muscle that you're building. And then another thing is kind of coinciding with that is sleeping. Sleeping is also something that I've gotten a lot better at this year, because I know most high schoolers, just by listening to conversations, they're talking about, I got 3 hours of sleep. And that's not something that you should be doing especially if you're an athlete, because sleep is the best recovery that you can get. So just keeping my diet in check and making sure I'm getting enough sleep have been other two lessons that I've learned, because obviously I probably wouldn't be here where in the position that I am, winning state and then being on the verge of getting a trial cut, if I ate poorly and didn't get any sleep.
So I know you've mentioned a trial cut a couple of times. Could you go into and explain what that is exactly?
So a trial cut is kind of, I guess, slang for an Olympic trial cut, and since the Olympics are coming up, in order to go to the Olympics, you have to qualify for the trials, and then at the Olympic trials, it's the top 2 per every event move on to the Olympics. So if I got a trial cut, I probably wouldn't even place top 50 with all the people, because it's everyone in America going to this meet, and the cuts are insanely fast. My 50, it's long course meters only, not short course. The Olympic trial cut for the 50 is a 23.1, and I'm currently sitting at a 23.9. So obviously I have a lot to go, but the trial cuts are like the top tier of cuts. So it's obviously a huge honor to get to, qualify for that, because that's out of everybody in, the United States, and to be part of the the 4%, I think it is, that go to that meet is just nuts. So that's something that I've kind of been focusing on a lot this season, because I know that I'm capable of doing it. So just making sure that, like I said, putting in all like the prerequisites to get to that point, like eating, sleeping, not skipping practice.
That wraps up this week's segment with Braden Osborn. We want to congratulate the Mason High School swim team on taking 4th at state.
Stay tuned next week for more updates and podcasts on the Mason Sports Radio Twitter.
I'm Savannah Libby.
And I'm Anna Schmeichel. Thanks for listening to Sports Spot.